What's up, Eggy Wegg Nation? Welcome to our first threesome on the channel. We have
Woo,
a special
yeah.
guest today, Mr. Alvis Gaming. Say hello.
What's up, guys? Alvis Gaming here for another Eggy Wegg
Holy
Nation.
fuck. He said the
What?
line. He said
Yeah,
the
I said
Real
famous
the
line.
thing.
Alvis
I said the
Gaming?
thing.
No
I said the
way.
thing.
No
Th- th-
fucking way.
This isn't a soundboard. They didn't just nab any intro from my
Yeah.
channel and just play
Alvis
that.
Gaming is notoriously
In the
hard to
flesh.
get on.
Yeah, I mean,
Yeah.
I've only ever been on one video on the Cool Dudes channel, and I wasn't even awake for that. So
You were sleeping.
yeah, I do like my
Sleeping
sleep,
moment.
Yeah. He does
but I
love
don't
to
I
sleep in
don't
the
sleep I
Discord.
don't sleep through good movies like Hot Fuzz.
Hell yeah. You don't sleep on Hot Fuzz.
I don't
Yep.
sleep on Hot Fuzz.
That's the movie we chose. We're getting extra British for this episode.
Hell yeah.
Too British.
We needed an extra British.
Yeah,
Exactly.
no, I balance
Professional
it.
opinion.
I balance it out. I'm also here because Hot Fuzz is one of my favorite films of all time. It's in my top 4, like, favorite films ever made.
Same.
I don't,
Right,
I
Yeah, I
don't,
really
I
like
don't,
it too.
I don't normally have like favorite films. Like, I have like tens, and I think of each of them very differently because like films. But like, if there was a film that was close to being my favorite, it would probably be Hot Fuzz or the first Spider-Verse, possibly the second one as well.
Sick. Alright, so David, do you wanna explain we haven't introduced ourselves. I'm Henry. This is Mass. Iggy Wegg Nation.
What's up?
Well, I mean, this is
What's
like
up?
what? This is the what? Like, this is the
Oh.
sixth
Yeah, if
Eggy
you
Wegg
don't
Nation?
know
There's
us by
anyone who's
now, fuck
new.
you. All people who are watching.
Yeah,
The zero
true.
people
You
who are
have to
watching.
know about us already. Alright, so David, explain to us the plot of Hot Fuzz. We're
Okay.
allowed spoilers, by the way.
Oh wait, we're allowed spoilers?
Yeah.
Yep.
Okay, sick one. So the plot of Hot Fuzz is starts off with our good old friend Sergeant Nicholas Angel, who is pretty much super cop.
No, he's
Bro,
not
it-
Sergeant yet. He becomes
Oh,
Sergeant.
yeah, he becomes sergeant in like the first 2 minutes of the film, because that's how much of a Giga Chad he is.
Hell yeah.
He's such an amazing police officer that the people in London decide that he is too good to be there because he's got like 400% higher arrest rates than everyone else in the department.
He's
So
the,
they said-
he's the one good cop.
Yeah, he's
They
the
had to
one
nerf
good.
him.
He's the one good cop in London, which I mean that's the first
Rare.
unrealistic thing ever.
Yeah, there would be zero, realistically.
So they send him to Sanford, a rural town in rural England, where there is like literally no crime, and it's like the best place ever. Also, it seems
Ooh.
Ooh.
pretty much he goes through a murder mystery trying to figure out the secrets of the town of Sanford and this whole murder plot and why everyone keeps covering up shit.
Hell yeah.
Yeah.
It's very, very based.
It's sick. So yeah, this is the second film in what's called the Three Flavors Cornetto trilogy by Edgar Wright. All Edgar Wright films co-written by Simon Pegg and starring Simon Pegg and Nick Frost in the lead roles.
This is the best one.
Yeah, it's the best one. I love the other ones too, but Hot Fuzz is the best one.
This is the best one. Shaun of the Dead is very close in my opinion, but like this one's just superior in every way.
Yeah, I agree. It's easily the best Edgar Wright movie.
Well, World's End warmed up to me a lot more, but like
Yeah.
it's still not nothing compared to Hot
I think the
Fuzz.
Cornettos are the best Edgar Wright films because they're just the most well-rounded overall.
Yeah. They're all really consistent with quality. I think they're all great in their own way.
So Hot Fuzz, in my opinion, has like one of the like finest like screenplays of any movie. In my opinion, maybe the best like screenplay of any like comedy, I'd say. it is like fantastic. It's virtually flawless in the way that like everything is structured and how all the plot beats are like given out, and in terms of the humor, because it's a really funny film. It's incredibly funny. There's so many iconic moments that are like incredibly quotable. Like one of my favorites is like is like when Nicholas Angel is confronting all the kids in the pub, and he asks like a kid like when his birthday is, and he says 22nd of February. And he says what year, and he says every year.
Yeah,
It's
that
fucking
seems fucking awesome.
iconic.
Yeah, that's what. I'm trying to think what's my favorite line because there's so many good ones.
There's so many great ones.
Oh, okay. No. My favorite is when Danny and Angel are like pissed out of their mind, and like Angel's sitting on the couch, and Danny goes, "Die Hard," or no, it was Bad Boys or Point Break, and he goes, "Which one do you think I'll like more?" And he's like, "No." He's like, "Which one do you want to watch first?"
Yeah,
I
that
also
part's
love
sick.
the part that someone calls him on the phone with the name Peter Ian Staker, and he's like, "Oh, piss taker, come on!" And then it cuts to like him talking to Peter Staker,
The actual guy.
played by
Yeah,
Stephen Merchant.
sick.
Yeah, there's so many like pun names like that. It's so thing. You notice them a lot in the like when they process the inmates.
Hmm. There's like people called like Cocker and shit,
Yeah,
and there's a really funny cut where like because it shows a lot of like in there's a lot of montage in this film, and it shows a lot of like paperwork, and there's this one bit of paperwork where it specifically highlights Nicholas Angel writing down
yeah,
cock.
yeah. I remember that. It's
Yeah.
great. Now, one bit I noticed of how good the fucking writing is, because the thing I love about Hot Fuzz's writing is that like it will reference one thing and then like you keep it in the back of your mind and then they'll just randomly bring it back out in like another
Yeah.
part of the
Every
movie.
single thing has a payoff.
Like literally, you notice something new every time you watch it. Like this for the Eggy Weggs today, I watched Hot Fuzz this morning and like I noticed this thing. So with the two Andys, when they're like taking the piss out of Angel, which they do quite a bit,
Yeah, they're really
he's
funny.
like, "Oh, do you want us to start call? Yeah, do you want to start calling up every single like Donny in fucking some like Sanford?" And like, yeah, do you want to go us to so like, yeah, Aaron A. Aronson and I shit you not, I was watching the very ending. You know the fucking
Yeah.
little kid he saves
Aaron
at
A.
the end?
Aronson
He fucking
is fucking
yeah.
great.
I never fucking
This-
realised that. I never realised
everything,
that.
everything has a payoff. Every single thing. Love literally like all the characters like when Nicholas Angel first meets the woman at the reception of the place that he's staying in Sanford. She's doing a crossword where she says fascist, and that's just he's like what, and then she just explains, oh, that's the bit in my crossword, and then she explains no, it's like fascism. And then she explains what fascism is and basically goes over and it basically explains like like the system that Sanford is going under.
Yeah.
And then immediately he just says hag 12 down.
Yeah.
And then they have a confrontation later in a shootout where she screams fascist, and then he shoots like, and then Nicholas Angel like shoots like a plant pot or something that falls on her head, and he says hag.
Yeah, that was the most like satisfying payoff for me. That was fucking awesome.
I loved it. I also love the fact is how they go about explaining like all and like reasoning all these action shit that happens in the film.
Mm.
Like Hot Fuzz is referred to as like the best police film for a reason. Like for example, in that shootout, there is not one lethal like shot in that shootout.
Yeah, the good guys like don't actually kill anyone.
Yeah, no. Every single, even the shots to the bodies, because I don't know how much you guys know about like riot police, But riot police, when they're trained to shoot, they are trained to, if they at all possible, to not shoot at the body or head.
Oh yeah, 'cause the
They're
organs.
told to shoot at the shoulders, the arms, and like the legs,
Yeah, makes sense.
not like the feet or anything. So like the limbs, so they can't thing. But like all of those shots in there were done with that. Like, and it shows to show because at the beginning they say he has Nicholas had like an expertise for like riot control.
Mm.
Oh shit!
So
I
like
never noticed that. That's cool.
so they explain how one Nicholas can fucking solo every single like villager
Yeah.
there, despite the numbers.
It's been praised
Yeah.
by the actual like English police force for being very accurate, especially with how much
And
paperwork
also-
they show.
Yeah, literally, the ending of Hot Fuzz has them doing like so much paperwork because of the amount of carnage they do in like the ending
Yeah.
act. Because like you can't do anything in the police service without having to fill out like 20 pages of paper.
There's literally so much about the writing that I want to talk about. Like first, fucking Nicholas Angel and Danny's like relationship is so amazing in the film. Like it's not only is the obviously the what do you call it? The chemistry is fantastic, and just the way that they get to know each other and how each like character like affects one another is so natural. It's like it's effortless the way because Nicholas Angel, he's all about his job. He can never turn off his mind. And Danny's the complete opposite. He thinks that being a policeman is like is like how it is in like Bad Boys or like movies like that. They and it's really sweet how like they influence each other and how Danny actually becomes like a much better police officer thanks to Nicholas Angel, and Nicholas Angel learns to wind down. And there's a really great exchange in one of my favorite scenes in the film, even though it's such a like a the film is so like fast paced. Like one of my favorite scenes is one of the slower ones where Nicholas Angel and I'm gonna stop calling him Nicholas Angel. Where like Nicholas and Danny are at the pub just having a chat, and he's talking about how as a child he always wanted to be a police officer, except for the summer of '79 where he wanted to be Kermit the Frog. And then they just have a chat about it, and then at the end they have a chat about stuff, and at the end Danny says, "Well, it's a shame, really. I think you would have been a great Muppet." And not only is it really funny, and it's like such a sweet moment, but it's the first time that Nicholas laughs in like the entire movie, and it's like so natural.
Yeah.
Just this like incredibly stern character, and letting his guard down, and it feels like effortless.
Yeah, you barely notice it. They have like the
I
best chemistry in the trilogy, in my opinion. It's
I
so
agree.
good.
I think it can't go without saying though. There's one famous bit of trivia for Hot Fuzz that you can't not mention between Danny and
Yeah.
Nicholas, and that's so like the other two Cornetto films, there was supposed to be a love interest in Hot Fuzz. Like they sort of show her in the beginning of it. I don't know if it was going to be Janine.
I think it.
Or, like,
I
it
think
was
it
gonna be a
would have
different
been
woman?
a different woman. By the way, Janine is played
Yeah.
by Kate Blanchett. By the way, you can barely tell it's
Oh,
her, but
interesting.
it is, which is kind of funny. And the Santa Claus at the beginning who stabs Nicholas Angel is played by Peter Jackson.
That's cool. But yeah, so the love interest was going to be in this film, but they decided to cut her and replace most of her dialogue with it. Like they decided to give her most of her dialogue to Danny. So Danny would say the exact same lines as what the love interest would say to Nicholas.
A lot of zesty
And
undertones in this movie.
Yeah, it works so
yeah.
well.
So like, and like generally, I think it works
Bromance.
amazingly. Like honestly, it's so perfect. I think
Yeah,
I think after watching it now though, I think I've now finally I'm able to detect some of the lines that were probably meant for the love interest over Danny.
Yeah.
But like even then, I think I might be grasping,
Yeah, it's hard to tell
should have been a love
which is
story.
good in my
like
opinion.
because like it shows how good the chemistry is. The fact that like you've not only got this amazing buddy cop character, but you also got like an amazing romantic interest character.
Mm.
Yeah,
Like honestly, I think the film is better. I hate to sound like a cinephile, but like I think the film is better without the love interest.
Yeah, especially since Edgar Wright's never been good about that
Yeah.
stuff.
he's not the greatest at that
Oh,
stuff.
No.
oh.
Especially not in.
It's so
Last
rough.
night in
Oh my
Soho.
god. Yeah, another character I don't think people talk about enough that I fucking love, especially in that first half of the film, is fucking Simon Skinner is absolutely hysterical and so entertaining. And I love how like you watch him talk about how he's a slasher of prices and he keeps talking about fucking murdering people and you just assume okay, he's probably gonna be like a red herring. You think you know where it's going, but nah, he's actually like the killer. And when it shows like, oh, now you've got it all wrong, he's not the killer, you think, oh, okay, yeah, this is where we're gonna find out who it really is. And then it turns out, no, he is a killer. He's just part of like a bigger
Yeah,
underground like scheme
group of
with
killers.
yeah, group of killers. But during that part of the team where he's the team during during that part of the film where he's just being so like unsubtle about his intentions. Just the way he hams it up is so hysterical. The way he talks to
Yeah,
I forgot her name, but that woman from like the Romeo and Juliet part
Oh yeah.
where he's like, if I
If
yeah,
I bash your skull
if I
in,
ba-
all sorts of secrets.
yeah, I love that. If I bashed your head in, I'm sure all sorts of secrets would come tumbling out. It's fucking great.
perfect
He'll be
fucking
in
casting
pieces
too. I don't know,
tomorrow.
I forget the actor's name, but he
He's
looks like such a fucking
amazing.
sleazebag in the
Yeah,
movie.
that shot where
Yeah,
like
it's
he's
so good.
like, where he thinks that he's in the clear, after he explains himself to Nicholas, and he just stands up and smiles, and he's doing the exact same face as the photo behind him.
No, that frame was fucking
It
awesome.
was so
Love
awesome.
that shit.
One of my favourite scenes with Skinner is obviously Nicholas Angel's trying to prove the fact that Skinner's the one who's been killing people, and then he's like, oh, how do I relate to the woman at the flower shop? And he goes, oh, we all know all about you, cousin Sissy. And he goes, actually, everyone knows my name of cousin Sissy. my year of male ballet is quite known to the thing, and then the Andes go like fucking.
Yeah, they're so horrible. They're just like gay.
That's the most okay.
Yeah.
But Mass, honestly, that is the most British moment in that movie.
No, for sure. And the part where they write twat in his fucking police cap.
Yeah, I love that.
That was British as hell.
Yeah,
Yeah, that's a
the
great
cast
scene.
is absolutely like maybe you probably wouldn't like realize. Well, I'm not saying to you, Mass, but like maybe if people who aren't British were to watch the movie, I don't know if they'd realize. But the cast is like pretty stacked with like British acting royalty, in my opinion. Like so many great actors in it. Fucking
True. I
David
don't know,
Bradley
I mean,
as
like-
the farmer is amazing. I love him. Fucking
Yeah, no,
I
I've-
forgot his name,
I've-
but the guy who plays like the Slughorn in Harry Potter, and
Yeah.
he's also like the guy in Brazil who like messes around with like the woman's face.
Jim
Yes,
Broadbent.
Jim Broadbent. He's fantastic in it. As Danny's like dad. Yeah, it's great.
I mean, yeah. I know next to nothing about British acting scene, to be honest, other than, Simon Pegg and Nick Frost.
There are a lot
who are
of
amazing
like
in this movie.
actors who are very famous in the UK who are mostly on TV stuff, that don't really appear
Yeah.
in movies, especially American movies.
Okay, yeah.
And
I didn't
and a
To be fair,
lot
recognize
the
of
only
this
them
film.
are
reason,
in a lot of them are in Hot Fuzz. A lot of them are in Harry Potter
yeah,
as well, but
yeah, a lot of them would be realized from Harry
yeah.
Potter, like especially Slughorn
And David
and
Bradley, who's what's he called,
yeah,
Filch. But yeah, fantastic
you know,
cast.
there's a lot. Yeah, nah, amazing cast. I love all the performances in it because they feel all so
Mm.
natural. Like it's Edgar Wright's dialogue as well. Like I love how he does it.
Yeah, it's great. Yeah,
I mean most of the time.
yeah. You know, if we're
In the
talking about
cornet,
this film, yeah, fantastic.
if we're talking about this film and like Shaun of the Dead and also World's End, like yeah, like amazing natural dialogue, but like
Yeah,
no, I love the how the characters interact in this film. Also, one of my favorite physical gags in the film is it happens twice. Once at the beginning where the Andes throw like a locker at like
oh
Danny,
yeah, and they do it
like
again
fucking like
like
no,
near the end as well.
yeah, but they don't do it to Danny. They do it to Nick, and then he says the exact same thing, and I
Yeah.
love it. Like generally, I get so invested in these characters that I've only known for like 2 hours.
Mm.
Like
Yeah,
it's
because the
amazing.
script is pretty dense.
Yeah.
There's a lot of shit going
It's
on.
so dense, but also there's not. I can't think of any problems with it. I think it's fucking airtight.
I would the thing is I like to whenever I watch a movie I like to think of like what people could complain about in the movie. But like I dead ass can't think of anything.
It's British.
Yeah, that's
I
my main
guess,
complaint.
but
Kind
like
of ruins the movie, honestly.
That's my complaint. Yeah, that's the thing with British and French movies.
Yeah.
They always have like
Yuck.
something about them. I don't know. There's something I
No, I'm
don't
just
like.
not a fan of the people. But yeah,
Also, fucking rewatching this, I forgot how like action packed it is. Especially like literally the last 40 minutes, it's just like
I wouldn't say
fucking
40 minutes,
like
but
crazy.
yeah, there's
I
a
mean,
lot of action.
the action sequences near the twist gets revealed like an hour 20 minutes in,
Yeah.
and the movie's 2 hours
Oh,
long.
yeah, true.
So like, so after that, it's just like yeah, fucking a shitload of action, and it's all amazing and like really well choreographed.
Yeah.
And I just fucking love the editing during those sequences too.
Mm.
The fucking any sequence of a gun being reloaded. This movie had the craziest fucking gun montages of anything I've seen. I swear
The
to God,
scene,
it looks
oh my
so
god,
good.
the montage where Nicholas is like gearing up to go on the shootout, and he's
Yeah.
basically taking everything
iconic.
from the gun locker except for the fucking like sea mine. Oh, it's so awesome.
Oh yeah, and he rides
I
in on the
love
horse.
I love the fucking I love the montages and like the I love how Edgar Wright like gets his films edited
Yeah.
and like
It's amazing.
Honestly, maybe I'd regret saying this. Maybe I'm wrong. Honestly, I think it might have the best editing of any film I've seen.
ooh
Maybe I'm forgetting something, but
I think there's
I
a few I
could
prefer, but I think
there's
it's up there.
there's some really
at least
good,
in terms
there's
of
some
like
really good
flashy editing, I think it's the best.
Okay, in terms of flashy and montage editing, I would agree.
Oh, for
Edgar
sure.
Wright has like Edgar Wright owns the
Yeah.
domain of montage
True.
editing.
When it comes to
when
that style of editing, for sure.
Yeah, when it comes to that style of editing, because like I'm personally of the belief that there's no like perfect way to edit a film.
Oh
Edgar
yeah,
Wright comes pre-done
Because,
with us, though. Well, whoever edits
Yeah,
his films
true.
anyway.
True, but
depends
like
what the movie's going for.
I I know, because like each edit has like their own sense of style, tone, all sorts of stuff
And
like
it's
that.
clearly all planned out from the beginning because of how many, especially in the montages, how many, like, um, like, like I don't know what you call them, but like kind of like swish transitions where like you swish the camera to the right and it turns into like another shot. Like there's so many of them,
Yeah.
and it's so well coordinated um, for every single montage. It's fantastic. I want to talk about like the cinematography quick. So even though it's
Yeah,
not
sure.
like it's not like fucking Kubrick or fucking Tarkovsky where it's like every frame of painting, oh, it's so fucking beautiful. But I think
Yes.
for what it is, it's fantastic. Every frame looks great, not in like that Kubrick like
Yeah.
painting way, but I think every frame looks great. All the lighting is fantastic. And I think for like how expressive the camera movement is, I think it does a fantastic job.
Hmm.
It's
I'd
like
agree.
another thing I fucking love, the soundtrack. I think the soundtrack is fantastic. Like the original music, um, especially the music that plays during the shootout, I think is fantastic. It fits the film perfectly. But I also love the use of licensed music. I think all the songs like fit really well. They're not distracting. Like sometimes I find like in Last Night in Soho, I find some of the songs distracting, but in Hot Fuzz it's like toned down enough, and like sometimes they're like pretty quiet. You can't even really hear them, and I think it's just like a really nice tone setter, especially when this one thing I really like is they use two songs from the Kinks, specifically the songs Village Green, and it's like two songs. I forgot the song names, but two songs involving the Village Green, and the happier one um, plays first when Nicholas Angel is like going for a jog for the first time and on his like first day of work. Um, and he's sort of just having a jog around Sanford, and the second one, which sounds more sinister, plays. I think it plays around the time like the whole event near the church happens, and this is when like Nicholas Angel is starting to suspect that there's been like murdering going on, and I just think that's a really cool detail.
I thought you were talking about how in the beginning bit where he's jogging, there's a song that plays obviously, and then right as Skinner appears, it like transitions into like
Yeah,
it's like a more scarier version, and then like as he goes away, it like goes back to like slightly the
yeah,
same
I love
song.
that.
It's mainly when he goes like, "You need to lock me up." Like that's the first thing. That's his first line
You
in
need
the
to
movie.
lock me up. I'm a slasher of
Um,
prices.
I really like the sound design on a lot
Yeah.
of the things as well, because like there's one thing I do need to say as well though. There is a lot of like Edgar Wright does this like very sneakily, but like there is a lot of like actually sneakily talking shit. There's a lot of like really intense gore,
Yeah,
like in some of it.
yeah,
Yeah, that caught me off
Um,
guard when I
like
first watched it.
he does it a bit in Shaun of the Dead, and like I think he does it in World's End a bit as well. But like sometimes he'll just sneak in
like a
like
severed
the
head.
most painful looking, like I don't
Don't
know. I mean,
expect
like
it.
sometimes he does like sometimes the gore I think is like worse than a severed head. Like for example, the bit where the church bit falls off onto that guy's head.
That's the part that
Yeah.
surprised me. I was like, "What the fuck?" That
Like
was
I
like
think the bit
crazy.
I think the bit that gets me with that is like how like the body's still like fumbling around with it on.
Yeah,
And
it's
like,
like
and
the
like
body's
you're,
up for a
you're,
sec.
and like, and I think the thing I loved is how Simon Pegg's character Nicholas Angel was like fucking like he like was like he was like shook because like he was like just like so scared of the,
I
like,
don't blame him.
I don't
That's
blame him. I'd be
fucking
terrified.
Traumatizing.
I think these
Um,
people were underreacting. I'd be gone. I'd run
Yeah.
away. I
Oh
swear to
yeah,
God.
no, true. I'd fucking scream. Another one that I also find like really uncomfortable is the ending bit where Skinner gets his
Oh.
like jaw pierced by the thing.
It's fucking.
I was cringing at that
Yeah.
part.
Like the thing is that the thing the thing is, while I was creasing at that part because like, oh, they look painful, it was also like laughing as well because of the dialogue they had him say
Just
with
ask
that
for ice
in his
cream.
thing.
Yeah.
Yeah, like bro. Okay, I was like, one, I'm impressed he could even talk with the amount of pain he is probably in. And two, like, bro's first instinct wasn't like scream. It was like, I want ice cream.
Just going back to like the sound design that you mentioned before, what I really
Oh
love
right,
is
yes.
how it's like so exaggerated, but at the same time it like completely works with the movie and it's not like annoying and shit like a shitty like Butch Hartman cartoon or something where it's just constantly like
Yeah.
whoop
Whip crack.
like it's
No,
the
I
sound
got
design is
I
very exaggerated. There's a lot of like swishes and like and like thuds and like boom and stuff like that, but it's like very subtle, and it was something I only really noticed on like this recent viewing, and it really helps to like like accentuate like everything that's going on. Like if you really notice, like
Yeah.
every time like he make like Nicholas Angel does like an exaggerated like gesture, like it's very easy to notice whenever like he pulls up his like cop ID. There's like a swish sound.
Yeah. Yeah, all
Yeah.
that stuff's really cool.
I got a bit sidetracked with the gore thing, but what I wanted to say was I was really impressed with the sound design on is one, obviously the splatter noises of the gore, and also the fist fights in the film. One with the two he had with Mike Armstrong, the incest kid.
What? Oh, Yarp.
You know the incest trolley boy.
Yarp.
Yeah, Yarp.
Yeah.
Forgot
Yarp.
about that dude.
His name's Mike
Yeah.
Armstrong.
I just know him as Yarp.
Yarp.
Yeah, Yarp. But like the sounds they use and like all of them are really nice. I also like the sound design in the fight with Skinner because like not only do they have like obviously the really nice sounding impact sounds, but also you had the water sounds because like obviously the sprinklers going off.
Mm. Yeah.
So like it, I don't know how to describe it because I'm not amazing with like sound terms, but like it sounded beautiful with like how wet it sounded.
Yeah.
Sound
I
moist
don't-
and gushy.
Hell
Yeah, how no, because like
Sound gushy
obviously,
gushy.
Oh damn.
obviously they could have just had the impact sound and then just put like a sprinkler sound as like the ambience,
It's kind of like even more.
but like the
It's kind of like adds to the humiliation for Skinner.
yeah,
Yeah.
It's very like funny.
No, that's true.
because
Oh.
like obviously in the trolley boy fights like Nicholas is getting his ass like thrown around like a fucking ragdoll. And then in the Skinner fight, he's getting his ass beat because Skinner's like he's a fun runner. He's not like a fighter.
What something I've always really loved is how in like the ending like shootout the Yarp guy he's kind of treated like a fucking like a mini boss in a video game, which I've always found funny.
Yeah.
How he's like how like
I-
Nicholas like climbs on top of him and he's like trying to shake him off and shit.
To be fair, I do like how there's one interaction between Yarp and Nicholas, which is like my favourite, and he's like when they're in the supermarket and he's like, wait, he like pauses the fight and he goes, "Do you really want to do this?" And he just goes, "Yarp,"
Yarp.
because like obviously he's treating him because obviously
He's
he's
got
not
the mind
all
of a
there.
child, I think they say.
Yeah, so like he's like yeah, so like he doesn't want to like Nicholas wants to obviously give him that second chance. But like I love that interaction.
Yeah, it's great. Something I find weird is that, with the exception of like Kate Blanchett and like some of the like old women in like the village, like the I think the most prominent and this really says a lot about Edgar Wright's writing. The most prominent like female character is like Olivia Colman's the character. She's one of the police officers, and her entire thing is that she's just one big fucking innuendo.
Yep, that's her
Where
whole.
she's always
that's her whole
talking
character.
about gobbling, and like Simon Pegg is like, oh, you don't mind a bit of manpower, do you? And like when she
Yeah.
beats the like Skinner's like assistant, she's like nothing like a bit of girl on girl. And
And when she fucking brought in Danny's
She was
birthday
wearing,
cake,
like,
she's
fake
wearing like
tits,
Oh.
yeah.
tits.
Oh my god, honestly, I on my second viewing of that film, like, I didn't notice that the first viewing, and
Me
like, I saw it
neither.
on the second thing, and I thought, like, generally, it took me, like, a good couple of, like, rewatches of the scene to, like, I thought she just had her tits out for no
No
reason.
joke. I did the same.
And
I
I
had to
was like-
rewind.
I
I
was
rewinded
like-
like 10
I
seconds.
was
Yeah.
like,
It's
yeah,
like-
no, because, like, I
they
think
put no
I think the
attention
fact
to
that's
it.
the funniest. I think that's what makes the scene really funny. I think it would have been less funny if they'd drawn attention to it. But
Yeah,
I
they
think the
just didn't
fact
pay
that she
mind.
just walks out and doing it. I think okay. Obviously, one common fact that I can agree 100% is Edgar Wright cannot write women.
Yep.
Yep.
He
Sad reality.
bro just can't. But I do think out of all of them, the woman police officer was one of the better ones.
Well, yeah, because he didn't have to write like a proper character. He just had to write.
Yeah.
Yeah, he
no.
played
An
to it. He
innuendo.
played to his weaknesses.
Yeah.
He just.
And
Exactly.
another thing that fucking sends me every time. This happens a couple times throughout the film. But there'll be like a thing where there's the guy with like the really strong accent who Danny has to translate
Yeah.
every time.
Yeah.
And there's a part there's another part, like a similar part that happens as well. But there's one part where I forgot what they're talking about. I think they're talking about the baked beans at the scene of like the explosion at the mansion. They're talking about that. It's like,
Yeah.
oh, he was having a midnight gobble, and then and then Doris says, played by Oscar-winning actor Olivia Colman, says, "Oh, I love a good midnight gobble," and then the fucking like guy with the strong accent just goes, "Cock." It fucking sends me every time.
No, the thing I love about that guy is the fact that like he's not just spouting gibberish; he is just speaking in a really
Yeah.
strong accent.
And then David Bradley's character
And, like-
is speaking in an even stronger accent, which he has to translate.
Yeah, there's no like, like honestly, I would have hated it if they just had him like speak complete gibberish. But the fact that you can understand him if you like
Yeah,
try hard
yeah,
enough,
it's great.
like Nicholas in the movie, the more you listen to him, the more you
Yeah.
do understand him.
Yeah, I was with David Bradley's character, who's like even stronger, his accent. I was actually on this rewatch. I was actually like trying to listen to his dialogue really carefully to like see if I could actually like decipher what he's saying. Fucking no chance. Like I had no idea.
I got some
no
of-
idea. Except for when he was like, "See mine."
I get some of it. I got some of it. I don't think I got all of it, but I think I got some of
like
it. I can
barely
say confidently.
any of it, honestly.
I
The
I
thing
could
is, I
decipher
didn't
like
get
a word here and there.
Yeah.
I didn't
One
get
word.
yeah, I didn't get full
No,
sentences,
me neither.
but I did certainly get words.
Goddamn.
Nah, honestly, I love this film. It's like so great.
Fantastic.
The pacing in Hot Fuzz is also
It's perfect.
like, god tier. Like that, like so that's another praise to the editing. I'm gonna actually get the editor's name up. He deserves a shout out.
Perfect length. I think I said this before. Perfect length, perfect amount of time that all the plot beats are revealed. Just fucking fantastic.
Chris Dickens.
Sick.
He also did Shaun of the
Not
Dead.
surprising.
Shout out to you, Dick.
Hell yeah.
Shout out to
Yeah.
Dick.
Yeah. No, he honestly, I love how we've obviously we've talked to death about how Hot Fuzz's writing is just amazing because it keeps calling back to like everything. Like you think with a film with such like bloated like script and like writing like that would be like very long and would kind of drag, but like the editing for it is like
Yeah,
amazing.
it's like 2 hours. It fits all of that into 2 hours, and it flies by. Not to mention most of like the writing is like in the first hour and 20 minutes as well, before the action
Yeah.
starts.
Me and Henry have said a bunch of times that like we've rewatched the films. You don't. It's not like I wouldn't class Hot Fuzz as a film that like you need to rewatch to get it like a second
No,
time.
it definitely helps though,
It helps like
'cause there's a lot
it's
to
more
pick
like
up
when
on.
you rewatch it. Yeah, when you rewatch it, you pick up more of the little details. But like honestly, the way it's like presented to you, you process all the information and some of the callbacks like instantly. It's
Yeah,
amazing.
it's fantastic.
I recently went through a lot of Edgar Wright's earlier films because like a lot of them are like just short films that you can just blast through, and I found a half an hour film called Dead Right, which is pretty much as he describes it, the blueprint for Hot Fuzz. I recommended Mass and Henry watch it, but they didn't listen to me because they're poopy
Yeah.
heads, and they stink
Sorry.
massive butthole.
Wow.
But
Poopy head.
essentially there is so much similar in Dead Right that's in Hot Fuzz that's great. For example, the store they use in Hot Fuzz is exactly the same store they use in Dead Right.
Well, the village Sanford was like well, obviously it wasn't called Sanford, but that village is like Edgar Wright's like hometown.
Yeah, no, but like even the like everything is like exactly the
Yeah.
same. It's brilliant.
That sounds cool.
Like there's so many bits where you can see where like Edgar Wright obviously wanted to use for thing, but like the one thing I do love about Dead Right is that like with some of the characters it's completely opposite. Like the main character in Dead Right is like evil Nicholas Angel.
Oh, okay.
Because I think it's influenced by films like Dirty Harry.
Yeah, that's one of Edgar Wright's favorite films.
Yeah. You can see easily
Even though it's
where
mid.
he got like a lot of his ideas for Dead Right, for Hot Fuzz from Dead Right, but like, so before this Eggy Weggs, Mr. Henry was saying to me about how we were talking about Miss Edgar Wright's writing, and how he's not very good at writing in films like Last Night in Soho, but he was good in the Cornetto trilogy. And he was saying it's because of Simon Pegg co-writing, which I do agree with somewhat.
I think
But
Simon
in
Pegg
Dead
helped
Right-
round it out better.
I think he rounds it out, but in Dead Right, it's almost like nearly the exact same level of humor and like character writing.
Oh, really?
Like for a 30-minute short film, like they still cover all the things. There's a lot of fourth wall breaks. That's the one thing I don't like about Dead Right, but it is funny. But no, the writing is like exactly the same. Like Edgar Wright has like had these like some of these talented things for ages. He's just got better equipment and like more budget.
Yeah, you can really see, like in, what's it called? A Fistful of Fingers, like the western he made on zero budget. You can, like, so easily see, like his style in, like, an early stage.
He's always had a knack for obviously humor, directing, and like edit it. How like he wants it to be like, I don't know, how he wants his films to like be
Yeah.
made. I know he doesn't edit his films like
True.
himself, but
I
like,
mean, it definitely seems like he has a big hand in the editing process.
well, I mean, I think
Yeah.
all good directors should have a big
Yeah,
hand in the
I
editing
agree.
process, but
And he edited A Fistful of Fingers by himself.
yeah, true. I think
Masterpiece.
obviously I think Simon Pegg helped rounded it out, but I don't think it's like I do think he can do really good writing. I just think he's been lacking recently.
True, honestly.
I do love Baby Driver,
It's
but
not
like it's
carried
not
by the
his best
writing.
written film. No, it's like done by the technical
Yeah.
aspects and like
N-
the production
swag.
Kevin
value.
Spacey's saying
Prodding.
bananas.
Prodding in the
Yeah.
stew.
Yeah, no, Dead Right is amazing for so many reasons because like they they attempted so many things that they obviously wanted to do that he does in Hot Fuzz, like the buddy cop thing. The buddy cop in Dead Right is very similar to Danny. The twist is also kind of similar. I don't want to spoil it too much though, which is why I'm not going into thing.
So it actually is kind of like Hot Fuzz prototype.
It is very much a Hot Fuzz prototype, but like it has got its own unique things to it. So I'd recommend if you did like Hot Fuzz and you want to see like how Edgar Wright sort of made that, highly recommend Dead Right to anyone.
It sounds
I don't
cool.
know. Hot Fuzz kind of sucks.
Yeah,
To
true.
be honest.
That's British people in it. So, what are we rating this? There better not be any incorrect ratings here. So, I'll be giving this like every other movie that's been in Eggy Wegg Nation. I'll give this a 10 out of 10. I've actually got it in my top 4. Out of all the movies we've talked about so
Pretty
far,
based.
this has been my favourite. It's not my favourite movie of all time, but it's definitely up there. I think it's one of the finest, like movie, like one of the finest comedies, one of the finest like detective movies, like well not detective but like murder mystery movies, and one of the finest like action movies ever made. I think it's just like fantastic all around.
I would also give this film a perfect 10 out of 10. As I stated before, it's in my top 4 for a reason. And even though I don't rank my 10 out of 10s, it is very close to being my favourite film of all time, if I ever had to say one. If anyone ever asks me for film recommendations, I always recommend this film, because I feel like it's so
It's so
choice.
it's
accessible.
so open.
Alright, Massa, what do you think?
You already know the vibes. I'm giving it a 9 out of 10. 9 out of 10. That's my rating.
Sick.
Great movie. Yeah.
Wow,
I'm just-
shocker! Mass gave another
Wow.
film a 9.
Not British enough to get it.
Whoa! Boo!
Wrong.
Maybe I'll get tea and crumpets. I'm sorry, that was
You know
horrible.
what?
Actually like a bit of tea.
Just because of
Anyway, Eggy Wegg out. Thank you, Didith.
Peace, guys. Thank you.
I'll
Deadass.
be. It was really fun. I want to join again at some point.
Tough.
Oh.